G'day everybody, it's Master Yoda here and hope you guys are all doing well. The title of today's video is The Grass Isn't Always Greener on the Other Side. I have two friends of mine, one of them is a close friend. They've both come out of long-term marriages, one 30 years, one 22 years. Yeah, with a 30-year one, God, that's a long time. Look, I never rejoice in people's relationships, breaking down, particularly long-term ones. That's really sad. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I digress. Yeah, but they've both come out of long-term marriages, 30 years and 22 years respectively. And the reason why those marriages ended in, or I suppose in divorce, is they became dead bedroom marriages, which unfortunately a lot of marriages are. Now, I can't give exact stats on how many marriages there are dead bedroom ones. It'd be pretty high. I read one report that they did a thing did a survey in the US, and they reckon it was 30%. I reckon it's probably more than that. Probably maybe 50%, maybe even more. Yeah, a lot of dead bedroom marriages out there, guys. It really is. I mean, as you know, I've been paying to play for the last 37 years, and initially I used to think that the only guys that went to these places were guys like me, sub-3 looking guys who couldn't attract civilian ladies. But no, all the ladies informed me that in their estimation, between 70 to 90% of their regular clientele are married men trapped in dead bedroom marriages. But getting back to the title of the video, yeah, look, I know a lot of us, we get down about our lack of luck with the ladies, and look, that's natural. There's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, you're a human being, you're a man, and whilst you should be trying to be as stoic as possible, you still have feelings and emotions, and yeah, you get lonely. Yeah, I often get down about my lack of luck with the ladies. Not as much as I used to. I mean, I have tamed my depression and my inkwell, and I've made peace with my inkwell status. You have to at the end of the day. Yeah, and we often you get down about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time too, you're better off alone rather than being in a toxic relationship or marriage where you just, where the other person's going to hurt you. Now, that's not to say that all women are bad. No, absolutely not. Not all women are bad. There are good, decent women out there, and if you're lucky enough to meet one of these ladies and end up spending the rest of your life with them, being married happily ever after for the rest of your life, hey, great, go for it. More power to you. But at the same time, too, if you get involved with a lady and that relationship goes bad, it could really ruin your life and really hurt you. Now, with my friend who'd been married for 30 years, yeah, he's devastated, and rightly so. He's really cut up. He was a good husband, a good provider, a good father. He had two daughters with his ex-wife, and he also had a good job. He was, I think, he was involved in construction. He maybe excavation, and he bought her a nice house, bought her a brand new car. I think he bought her a brand new Mercedes. Bought his daughter a new Audi. I think he bought his daughter the other daughter a new car, and this is the thanks he gets. She walks out on him. And he told me in the last 10 years of the 30-year marriage, it was a dead bedroom marriage. He just get nothing at all from the missus. And he's really cut up about it. I mean, he's getting over it now, but slowly. But in 30 years, and also you've got to include the time that they were courting. So all up, I think he's known this woman or his ex-wife for about 35 years. Yeah, so he's really cut up over it. So, being in Quark has its advantages. It does. And I'm not saying that as a cope either. Yeah, he's really cut up. My other friend he came out of a 22-year marriage, yeah, he same deal with that. That became a dead bedroom marriage. And in the end, my friend, the one that'd been married for 22 years, he had to pay to play because he was just getting nothing from the wife. And yeah, so he left her. He had two kids as well. And straight after that, he got into a relationship with a single mother. Bad move. He dated her for about 3.5 years. He had to end it because she just kept disrespecting him all the time. Now, I'm not saying this woman's a bad person per se. No, she did some nice things for him as well, and but she's got some. But unfortunately, she has some mental issues. On one occasion, she embarrassed him in front of all her friends. Like, you don't do stuff like that, and then denied it later. And I said to my friend, "You got to break up with this woman." And also to my friend who was going out with this single mother, he's taken her out on holidays, which he paid for, and she still disrespected him. Eventually, he came to his senses and parted ways with this lady. But he spent a lot of money on her. He spent a fair bit of money on her. Fortunately, they didn't live together. They only saw each other on weekends, so I don't think she got any legal recourse. Yeah. So yeah, the grass isn't always green on the other side. It always. I mean, look, theoretically, you could meet a woman and end up living the rest of your life with her happy. And if both of you are happy, hey, more power to you. I hope it works out for you. I really do. Because let's face it, guys, a lot of us men in the BP and Inkwell communities, we're the underdogs when it comes to dating and hookups. So whenever I learn of a former Inkwell, either hooking up with a woman or being in a happy relationship with a woman, hey, good for you, man. Good for you, mate. I hope it all works out for you. I really do. Nothing warms my heart when I hear a former Inkwell succeeding with the ladies. And if that happens, more power to you. But at the same time, too, you don't want to be in a relationship with a woman where she's going to hurt you. Where she's going to hurt you in some way. Either cheat on you or dump you or, so in many respects, you are better off single. I mean, even my mother says to me, she goes, son, I'd love to see you with a wife or a girlfriend, but at the same time, too, you're probably better off the way you are rather than getting involved in a toxic relationship with a woman who's going to hurt you and potentially ruin your life. And she's right. She's right. And you hear all these horror stories about bad marriages. And then once again, that's not to say that all women are bad. No, absolutely not. There are good, decent women out there, but there are a lot of toxic ones as well. A lot of toxic ones as well. Just like there's a lot of toxic men. I mean, us men, we're not innocent either. When a marriage breaks down, I don't by default blame the woman. No, sometimes it's the woman's fault. Sometimes it's the man's fault. Sometimes both of them are at fault. But no, you are better off single rather than being in a toxic relationship. And look, being single or equal has its advantages. You do what you want to do on your terms. You spend your money the way you want to spend it. You're not answerable to anyone. You're not being nagged to death by some annoying, impossible to please woman. I mean, if I was married to a woman and I had to come home from work and get nagged to death, it would do my head in. It really would. Men just want peace. Us men, we just want peace in our lives. We don't want chaos and drama. What sane, rational person would want that? No, nobody. We just want peace. And as I said before, I get down about my equal status, but look, I know it's not my fault. And it's not your guys' fault either. If women don't find you attractive, well, it's nothing. It's not your fault. The modern woman has very high standards these days, but yeah. There's a lot of, and I'm not saying this as a cope. There are a lot of advantages to being single. You do your own thing when you want to do it. You spend your money the way you want to spend it. And if you're feeling a bit lonely, there's always the pay to play option. And now, obviously, for you guys in the US, that's it would be probably not a good idea because of your laws over there. But for guys where it is legal, maybe you got the pay to play option. And look, once again, I'm not saying this is a cope, but I've probably had not probably. I know for sure that I've had a more satisfying and fulfilling sex life than most married guys, and even a lot of even guys in relationships. I mean, I have to say, the mature age ladies or not that I see, they give me the most passionate XXX rated bedroom fun a man could hope for. So I've had a very satisfying, love life. I'm out to pay for it, but it's been great. It's been terrific. I mean, the mature age ladies or not that I see, they give me the most. They treat me like a king, and I treat them like a queen. And so I've had So that's another good advantage about being single. You can pay to play once again if it's legal where you are, and you can choose the woman. You know what I mean? There's no strings attached. There's no strings attached. So there are many advantages to being equal. You have peace, and and also too there's your hobbies, your copes you can turn to. Yeah, I mean take up hobbies, things like learning how to play a musical instrument. I know. I've mentioned this many times before, but I took up guitar in February 2016. Practice every single day. I'm not particularly good. I'm only a rhythm player. Unfortunately, lead guitar was way too hard for me. But you know what? It's been a blast. I've learned how to play lots of songs. I mostly play AC/DC covers, with a bit of Aussie pub rock and a few other bands I can play, but mostly AC/DC stuff. And it's been fun. You learn so many things. So yeah, take up hobbies. Turn to your copes. Video games. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those. I know people criticise men for playing video games. Hey, mate, they're fun. Why not? Me personally, I'm not that much into them. The only video games I've got, I'm more into car simulation, car driving simulation, and flight simulation. They're the games I like because yeah, they will, for example, flight simulator. You learn how to fly a plane. Well, to a degree, you learn about flying planes and car racing things. I like cars. I'm a bit of I'm a bit of a rev head, and yeah, I play the car racing simulation games. Yeah, so so just basically you can turn to your copes. That's one good thing. Another advantage of being single. You've got time to engage in your hobbies and sports and things that make you happy. You know, so you do your things on your terms. So look, guys. I mean, even if you are able to get into a relationship, the grass um, isn't always greener on the other side. If you end up in a relationship with a very toxic woman, you're better off single. You really are. You're better off single. I mean, the horror stories that you hear about guys going through bad divorces. Um, but some guys don't learn their lesson. A close friend of mine, he has an uncle who's on his third marriage, and his first two marriages, both of his ex-wives took 70% of his assets. That's right, 70%. I mean, this guy, he's lost multi-million-dollar houses, cars, and look at all the other money he was spent on these women. I said to my friend, your uncle was better off just not getting married at all, or not getting married after the first time and just pay to play. It would have been cheaper for him to pay to play. He would have change in his pocket. But no, this guy had to simp. Simps, they're their own worst enemies. They really are. You know. So yeah, guys, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I mean, yeah, look, if you do meet a lady and you're not being happy with her, hey, more power to you. I hope it works out for the both of you. I really do. I mean that. But in many respects, you are better off single because you can spend your money the way you want it. You're not answerable to anybody, and you can enjoy your hobbies and copes. Anyways, thank you very much for listening to my video. If you'd like to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. You guys have a great day, and bye for now.